I feel so comfortable being around you guys. Let's just have a chat, okay? This actually feels like, we're meeting somewhere in one of the project countries and we're discussing how to deal with certain stakeholder groups. So let's do it like that. Yeah. Stakeholder, consumer. Yeah. We've all worked, or you've worked with consumers, consumer engagement. Now, we talked about it, not an easy task. Specific questions that we sort of dealt with or that we encountered would be like, first of all, of course, what's the situation of consumers and sustainability information and especially knowledge in your countries. You've done this as part of the SCP project and then also now leading over to Cliff. I think some results have been obtained already in some of the countries. So maybe you want to give information from both projects. Okay. Do you want to start?
No problem. This video is a world premiere. Just finished like minutes ago in my country. Yeah, but talking about consumers, the two ladies over there, they are real customers. They are not Hollywood actresses or something like that, because we incorporate in the SCP project, thinking in the Cliff project too, the marketing tools. Marketing is like is targeting the audience, and according to our marketing analysis, these two women represents our target audience in the organic engagement process. And for this reason, we asked the manager to specifically look through the customers this profile. Because if you want to engage with consumers, you have to target very specific audience in order to use your resources very efficiently. As the manager mentioned, in Paraguay, pandemics started to impulse, like to elevate the organic consumption in my country. In the top of mind of these two ladies, you can find that in the top of mind is agrochemical. In Spanish, the first lady mentioned toxics. We translate agrochemical. It's a more soft term. But if you heard very carefully in Spanish, it's agrotóxicos, toxic, like something very negative. It's like the customers, they're looking for pesticide-free products. In some of the products in the video, you can find that the non-GMO seal in the sugar, organic sugar in the video. Pesticides, GMO, they are elements that are in the mind of the consumers, but they need guidance. And this kind of organic store is a place where the consumers, they came to buy, but to learn, to be educated. And people from EcoAgro, that is a social enterprise, they need to use this opportunity, the purchase moment, the buying moment, to educate the consumers. And at the end of the video, the manager mentioned that now we are engaging with the big supermarkets. Is a idea that they are moving forward, and we are helping them to engage with the big supermarkets in order not only to have these little stores, but to be on the big business. Then we will have the supermarkets with open doors to use the supermarket as an educational experience. But in my country, there are, as many countries, there are very sensitive elements. For example, we are the number 6 exporter of cattle meat in the world. We are the number 4 exporter of soybean in the world. And can you imagine that if we design a communication tool trying to engage consumers, we have to take specific consideration on these products. This is from my side.
Just quickly, how would you define your target group?
Yeah, in my country, a lot of people is below the poverty level. To be middle class in my country is like, I don't know, if you earn, 600 euros per month, you are middle class. But if you earn 1,000 euros per month, you are in the 5% of the population in the top class over there. As I mentioned earlier this morning in my presentation, the marketing show us, the marketing analysis show us that the majority of the population, the rural people, the people living in a more vulnerable situation against climate change and poverty, they are the ones that can offer this kind of product that the top class in my country is looking for. And this is the interesting point of all this idea, how you build a connection between people looking for this kind of products and the producers. And the retail sector is the key element. We cannot avoid to include the retail sector, not only the government, but the private sector too.
Yeah. Okay. So the question is about situation of consumer sustainability and knowledge, right? I would say it's many things together. Let's say if you are a consumer in Thailand, you're quite confused. I mean, you go to a local market, probably there is no information at all, right? No products information, or maybe you don't buy directly from the farmers, but if you go to the retail, what you get is in the opposite, too much information. Oh, what kind of, certifications are you looking for? There's many kind of certifications. So the project, it's all about, making the balance, making sure that all these different kind of certification is mainstream into one information that they would like to know. So if you talk about consumer, we have to also think about what are the decision-making factors. Of course, the big problem is that the decision-making factor is the price. It's not ideal, but of course, people tend to buy cheaper products. But now with, the campaigns, the awareness raising, and everything all together that we, not only us, but everyone is talking about, we have to make an informed choice buying the products that not, make an impact on the environment, then it become, a good trend now. We have made a survey recently, and, consumers are more aware. At least they know that, food has an impact on the environment, has been increased from the past, which is good. So the knowledge, awareness is there. What we have to do is that how do we actually have to develop the tools for consumer to make informed decision, and that is this CLIF project is all about. And we are going to, doing some survey, taste about, the impact of food and everything, and trying to develop the tools that consumer can understand because of this complexity of many issues. Some people are looking for organic, some people now looking for the GI. There is another kind of information that is quite interesting. It's about the original, where is, what's that, geographical identification. So, and also there are some information about the labor rights or something. A lot of things. So we need to mainstream this. This is what we have to do. Yeah. Into one, good information too.
And I understand that you recently had a workshop in the CLIF project on consumer engagement. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we actually have some lesson learned from that workshops. Maybe it's not directly about the consumer information, but we learned about that some key lesson learned that we have found. One is about standards for food in schools. These people think about a lot because there is a lack of specific food standard in school and children's centers. So this is become a very main concern because children, they don't have this. So people in the workshop, they really want to make this happen in school. And also there is a lacking of nutrition information. So current labels are not effective enough about the nutrition. So we need a clearer labels to help people make a better informed choice. And also a marketing regulation. So we need also a stricter rules to protect consumer, especially children, as mentioned, from misleading advertisement. There's a lot of advertisement to just buy this and buy that, but this can be misleading and making not the right decision also. And also people in the workshop also talk about this nutrition and health education. Then there is a need for better public awareness campaigns for nutrition counseling. And last, it's about the fiscal measures. So implementing tax on unhealthy food, subsidy on healthy food could change the dietary patterns. So this is what people in the workshop they make a priority of many issues together. Yeah.
Sounds very much like the priorities that we have here in Germany in part. Things that my colleagues are working on in the German realm, but we're not talking about Germany now. So you've been talking about barriers to consumer engagement. Maybe, Nacho, you can tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Last year, we conducted a technical workshop in Paraguay with the Cliff Project. We invite a lot of experts from the sugarcane industry, cattle industry, soy industry in order to discuss about the attributes of these commodities. In the case of soy and cattle, there are not so much market barriers as we can think about it. It's more about what markets they are looking for, because we are in the top exporter of soy and meat, and the element of market barrier we have to analyze in the international context. For example, here in Europe, there is a strong message to eat less meat, like a reduce the consumption of meat. But back in my country, people producing cattle ranching meat, they are looking for other part of the world to export, not precisely to Europe. Thinking of this, the market, we have to analyze the global market. And I think this is the advantage from WWF, that we have offices in China, offices in Southeast Asia. We are working with people from South Africa. We can think together about market access or global market in general. We are not being ready to conduct another workshop back in my country from the CLIP projects, but now we are inviting authorities because we have here people from the Paraguayan embassy. Thank you very much for coming. And Paraguay is trying to engage with the world being a sustainable country. Sustainability is becoming like a part of every country in the world promotion. It's like a magical element that could open the markets for you. You can overcome all the various markets if you say, I'm sustainable. But maybe we can analyze in detail the situation that the marketing of the countries is based on sustainability right now. as Martina mentioned, sustainability is becoming a key element in the debate, in the dialogue. But we have to inform about the sustainability, because in Paraguay, the official message is that we are a country that produce food for millions of people around the world. But still in my country, we have children that doesn't have food. Is a very ironic situation that you are promoting your country, saying that we are exporting food for everyone in the world, cattle, ranching products, soy, and everything, but we still have problems with nutrition in our country. And I think these kind of elements will be the key elements to consider in this tool we are designing. There are a lot of sensitive issues. And yes, now the Mercosur and the European Union are in the final stage of agreement or not agreement about the environmental annex between the European Union and the Mercosur about the no conversion products coming from Mercosur to the European Union. It is that situation, that negotiation at market access barrier? Maybe yes, and we have to analyze. If you check the news from Paraguay, if you practice your Spanish a little, sorry, you will find that our national head of the Forest Institute published technical study saying that 95% of the soy produced in Paraguay is deforestation free now. I have the technical analysis. But can you imagine that we as WWF, we promote the zero deforestation law in the Atlantic forest in Paraguay 20 years ago. And now, 20 years in the future, the government is using this as a strong message. But it's not deforestation free forever. It's deforestation free in comparison with the initial state of the zero deforestation law. And we had to inform to the consumer that this is a temporal period that give the context of the zero deforestation for Paraguay.
It's all about cutoff dates, huh? All right. Plai, do you want to add to the barriers to consumer engagement?
Actually, there are numbers of barriers. Yeah. First of all, I think there are many barriers and there are many sectors of consumers. But in our country now, we want to focus more on the young generations, because they are the future. Okay, so we look into these barriers, and then we found that in the public institutions like school and child care centers often operate on the low budget. So they are very, they exposed to a low quality of food, and also they don't have much information, in terms of the schools and the children itself. So that's why we need to educate these teachers as well as to make projects in school. That will be the focus and recommendations from the study. And also, if talk in general, it's about the accuracy of the knowledge. Sometimes there are many experts, but they are saying differently. Some experts say this is good, some experts say this is bad. They're quite biased. So, there is a problem, who to trust. Okay? And of course, this would lead into, this situation is very classic. It's about the conflicting of interest. Sometimes, executives, organizations have conflict interests that hinder the implementation of sustainable practices. Companies are behind. Maybe they don't like, sustainability because of their benefits on on this business or something. So this can be a big barrier as well. And so also, if you want to propose some, measures, for example, tax on unhealthy food, or tax on pesticide-made food or whatever, the political influence, fluctuation, and political will, it's also a very big factor. Most of the time, our political is not so, it's instability. So whatever good law is being proposed, it's taking long time. So this can be a big barrier as well. And in general, also consumer resistance. They are, as I mentioned in the first time, that the decision making is based on the price. So if we propose the measures like tax on unhealthy food or something, there would be resistance on that part as well. And last but not least is about the credibility issues. There's a lack of trust in food certification organizations, and some food products made false claims. So this is also we have to work on this a lot. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So we heard about the barriers. How about the solutions? What are you trying to do to overcome them?
Yeah. We as WWF, we started in 2005, long time ago, to promote the global roundtable on responsible soy. I remember very, very well because I was there. I was there in Foz do Iguaçu in Brazil. People from other NGOs, they are criticizing us, WWF, because we are with the devil. We are with the devil. No, what happened with the pandas? They are with the soy people. Look at that. But I really think that it was a positive investment from our institution, from WWF, putting in risk our institutional image or reputation. Why? Because we decide to create a global movement to offer a solution. For example, this company, EcoAgro, they are not offering organic soy. The problem is not the soy, not the plant. The problem is the activities or the practices around this. I think sustainable and responsible soy is a solution. And recently, the Global Assembly on the Sustainable Soy decided to include in the principles the zero conversion principles. And we helped 5 companies back in my country to be ready for the responsible soy certification. But can you imagine 5 soy companies in Paraguay, soy growers in Paraguay, and we have 5,000 soy growers in Paraguay? I think the solutions are there, but the journey is still very long.
How to overcome the challenges of the consumer information, right? So I think it's a mix of everything, but just to focus, I think we have to work on a few things. First, that we have to work with the companies, okay, those players who sell the product. So we involved, as already mentioned by many countries, so work with retailers, wholesalers, and making business to understand the importance of environmental protection in their food products, so that they can help, they can be a part of solution as well. So apart from, but in order to convince the business, I think this is the hard part. So we have to involve with ongoing case studies, make it a clear case, so that people understand, companies understand, and it involved also social empirical studies, and most important, not most importantly, but it always have to be there. It's about the policy analysis. For instance, if we have to make a draft of policies for sustainable and healthy diets, that and then talking about this project. So we develop this policy recommendation, and then we have sent to our experts in Thailand for a review, and we have also gained very good interest and engagement from those experts to give a review and make priorities. Which policy is good and that, and this is like getting academic institutions to involve in this to make a really good information, making a good case. So that's how we overcome all these complexities. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, both colleagues. Yes, again, the floor is open. Any questions on the topic or input from your side? Maya, I thought you posed all your questions already.
Thanks. No, I just wanted to share some insights from the South African workshop and wanted to know your opinion on that. We discussed quite vividly with the people during the workshop what is our concrete target group we want to address with the tool. And they proposed to target those young people, young, so around 30, who are on the leap from the lower to the middle class, because that's the stage when they, for the first time, can afford buying other goods, bigger packages. They want to show it that they are more wealthy than before. So that's what they think about from the South African context, to then provide information, especially for this kind of target group. How to convince these people that it's not the cool, the unsustainable and unhealthy food is not the food they should buy now, but how do we make sustainable food cool? So that's a question where we had to end the workshop actually, but we will continue that discussion. What are your experiences from also the campaigns you did in your countries during the SCP project?
Yeah. Okay. No.
I was wondering, because of your video, the two consumers that were shown were women.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if you have also a gender aspect in your work with consumer, and who is your target group? So
Yeah.
also the gender aspect.
Yeah. Yes. A woman plays a very key role, not only in the consumer side, but we learn from the SCP project play a key role on the productive side. We work with a lot of rural woman producer association, and this rural woman producer association, they are the key to produce a big percentage of all the products I'm showing over there. There is a woman in Paraguay. A woman is the president of the Organic Producer Association of my country, Mrs. Margarita Duarte. That will be in Anuga next week. Yes, the gender element is key. But talking about the to be cool, in the last portion of the SCP project, the biggest supermarket in Paraguay approached us, or at least, to think about a launching event of the more common product in rural areas in Paraguay, that is the bean. The bean is not cool. It's popular. But we think, why the biggest supermarket approached us to a launching event, a very fancy with all the press cover for this very common product, and they choose their more fancy store. It's the deli market store. It's like in the top of the coolest store they can offer us for the event. Because maybe their marketing professional in this supermarket, they find that this kind of very healthy, very common products to reach the big audiences have to be cool, or have to be part of your experience. Because these stores, similar, we learn from Colombia, these deli markets or gourmet market store, they are located in the shopping malls, besides the shopping malls. And this retail sector, they are using your visit to the mall and then move to the supermarket and then to the gym and then go back home. It's like they're using the marketing experience in order to reach you as a consumer. I think the learning is that we have to explore this kind of social marketing or marketing with purpose side in order to find the cool element for all these our products. But for sure, our product is very cool, very colorful.
So next time I go shopping, I'll buy the latest fashion item and some beans, is it?
Please.
Yes, great.
And post in your Instagram.
Yes, I will, most certainly, though I might not quite be the target group. Fly, have you got
marketing with purpose. I like that word, and it's actually, I just want to add that if you talk about target groups, we cannot specifically, target on any one of the group. It's many layers. So in terms of the CRIF project, it's not only consumers that we target. We should also target, of course, we mentioned many times already, it's retailers, food companies, and even food producers. That's, we cannot neglect them. They're very important, So they are the very upstream target groups. And then when we talk about consumers, then this is another main, target groups, because they are the food buyers. And so based on the workshops and experts that we talk, not only general buyers that we should target, but also the government, the institutions, especially those schools, because the beneficiaries of, sustainable products are the children groups. So these are also, we have to make a tool that is easy for these people who will be buying food for their children, the young generation, to benefit as well. So this is kind of the new, target group that we should be focusing on. Yeah.
So sounds a bit like you need to rub it in from all the different sides.
Yeah.
So I think we also call that the food environment that needs to be sort of shaped accordingly.
Yeah, ecosystem of
yeah,
this.
exactly. There was another comment from Rolf.
Yeah, I was wondering whether, or if you could elaborate a bit on that dilemma of healthy versus sustainable. I don't know. We had our own study at WWF some almost 10 years back, where the most sustainable food you can have is spaghetti with tomato sauce. It has the lowest footprint. So, but we also have the Eat Lancet, where they show this dish, and you are shown what the actual contribution is. And then for Germany, for example, we lack a lot of vegetables and also nuts and fruits. To have a healthy diet. I'm just curious to know whether you have similar issues where you say, well, healthy is not necessarily the most sustainable, or it comes with an increased footprint, probably not massive, but nevertheless something to consider.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. For example, we are promoting a lot of organic products, but you can cut the forest and put organic products there. No problem. You can obtain the certification, and you will contribute along with climate change. But your product, we have the organic seal, because the problem with our seals in Paraguay, I don't know in other countries, is that they are isolated. For example, the Ministry of Health that have the food combination for your health in your daily basis, they are not connected with the Ministry of Agriculture. And the Ministry of Agriculture is not connected with the Ministry of Industry. And yes, there are a lot of problems with the seals and the products in the market that some put an emphasis on the sustainable attribute, other on organic attribute, other on the healthy attributes. But we really doesn't have an harmonized policy in my country between we have the National Food Institution, we have the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Agriculture, the consumer defense, but they are silos. And yes, we have this kind of unbalanced situation, and this is the work we have to do from now, to harmonize all these elements, sustainable, organic, healthy. But in general, we learn a lot from the SCP project that sometimes the cheapest products from the rural areas are the healthiest one. It's not necessarily say that healthy is the higher cost is associated with the healthy. We have to navigate this kind of situation, and we really need more information on this. And I think the Cliff project will help us on this item.
Thank you. Do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I like it. It's very interesting question. Thank you. But it makes me make me think of. It's actually when you say healthy, it's not. You cannot mix with sustainability, because healthy is about the type of food. It's not the way you produce food. Unless if you produce a food with chemicals and it's not healthy, it's make you toxic, right? So it has to be clear. But we, I mean, in Thailand in particular, we usually use this. If the interlink between healthy and sustainable, we use the word safety food, safe food. Yeah, we use a lot now. The government trying to, balance and not to, get hit by any, side of the story. So they use the word safe food, which means it's produced quite safe for health. It's communicated in a way that there is no contaminations. So it's safe. And also healthy, it's also could be there also, they link to safe. Safe is healthy or something like that. So in Thailand we use this word, so it's quite interesting also. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Safe in production, safe to eat. I think we might have to go on from here now. Thank you both very much for this chat. I think we'll have more opportunities to chat, and I'm looking forward to it. Yes, a round of applause to my two colleagues.